right, thumbs up. Okay. Good evening, board members and residents. I'd like to call to order our regular board meeting for Tuesday, May 27th, 2025. I would ask that everyone present please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Witt, will you please take the roll call?
Yes, Mr. Batkins?
Here.
Mr. Brado?
Here.
Mrs. Brown?
Here.
Mr. Olgiati?
Here.
Mr. Tominello?
Here.
Mr. Witt? Here. Mr. Verkust?
Here. Thank you. Next is approval of the consent agenda. Board members, we accidentally added item A8. It had been previously approved. So I would be looking for a motion to approve the consent agenda minus item A8.
So moved. Support.
Got a motion by Mr. Badkins with support by Mr. Brado. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none and seeing no public comment, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Board. Next is approval of the regular agenda. Other than that previous issue, I'm not aware of any other issues with the agenda. If there are none, I'd be looking for a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Is there support?
Support.
Motion by Mr. Tominello with support by Mr. Olgiati. Discussion. Hearing none and seeing no public comment, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Thank you, Board. Next is announcements. I have a few announcements. Our Township Beautification Commission is hosting their annual plant exchange May 31st from noon to 2 p.m. at the Tucker Senior Center parking lot. It's a rain or shine event. It did require pre-registration, but if you have any questions or concerns, you can contact Sue Keen at 586-242-3868. Sunday, June 1st is the Lance Cruise Classic 5K Run. It starts and ends at the Tucker Senior Center. You can find the flyer on the Township website for more information. Thursday, June 5th, join us for the mural celebration at Waterfront Park. That event begins at 4 p.m. We'll be unveiling and dedicating the new mural from the DIA, Partners in Public Art Program. Again, more information on the event on the Township website. Free concerts are happening in the park again this summer. The full list of the free concerts has been posted on the Township website June 26th, July 24th, August 28th. Those are 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Call the supervisor's office or questions on those. Also, save the date. The 20th Annual Fishing Derby is coming Saturday, June 7th. Watch the Township website for updates and to register. And as always, for more information on these, as well as all other Township events, you can call the supervisor's office 586-466-1445 or visit our website at www.harrisontownshipmi.gov. Any other announcements?
Don't have an announcement, just have a question real fast.
Yeah.
After the dedication on June 5th, will the park be open to the public after that particular point?
So, no, I don't, I don't believe so. We're kind of wrapping up some of the restoration, and we have hit a slight delay in the renovations to the bathhouse. The sinks had been ordered, and the supplier was not able to deliver those as we anticipated, so we had a minor delay. I feel that that's, what is that? That was June 7th? June 5th? I feel like we're probably between June 5th and the 26th for the concerts is going to be that opening, but it's, and we may have, the park may be open, but we may have some areas roped off while restoration is still taking hold, but, so we're getting close, that's for sure.
Ken, do you happen to have a map of what is going to be blocked off? And the only reason I'm asking is we've ended up parking on that grass in the past instead of busing people from Middle School South.
Yep, so none of the restoration that we're, well, I shouldn't say that, really, where the road is. Yeah, there's, so if you've been, have you been to the?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure there's restoration gonna happen, gonna occur where that temporary road was. I think the bigger concern for us is the restoration near the shoreline. So if we have to,
At
Park
this
on the
point,
grass.
they've sprayed it with seed, so
right.
it might have taken in the next month.
it
right?
could be, but if we had to, and we had to go beyond that, we'd probably isolate an area and then do more additional restoration, but
Okay.
even if all we did was just pull onto that area and didn't quite make it past that road, then we'd have plenty of parking.
Okay,
Worst case, if we're concerned about parking, what we've done in the past is run a shuttle from the middle school
yep,
south parking lot.
Yep.
So we can do that as we get closer, maybe a game
Okay.
time decision for the concert. Any other announcements? Hearing none, we'll move forward on our agenda to item D1 from the Finance Department regarding a purchasing policy.
Yes, sir. So our finance director has been reviewing our purchasing policy and drafted an updated policy that reflects some best practice. Wally, I'm getting like a weird reverb on my mic here.
Yeah, they seem hot.
Yeah. So that reflects some best practices, eliminates some outdated processes, and improves controls. We reviewed policies from other communities. Really what we ended up doing was pirating parts from different things, why reinvent the wheel, to modify what we found would best suit Harrison Township. One of the key changes is that it increases the spending limit for each department head to $5,000, as long as there are sufficient funds appropriated in the line item by the board during the budgeting process. If there is something, where the department head does spend beyond, the finance department, prepares budget amendments, that way we can amend the budget and the board would have the opportunity to review those and approve those prior to money being spent over and above that. And then there are other things like codifying our digital process for check approvals and invoice submittals. We had it was such an old policy that it had you need to take the carbonless paper and take one copy to the treasurer and one copy to finance, and it just wasn't what we did. So we really wanted to update it to match how we were actually functioning. So we're recommending the board adopt the purchasing policy as presented. Happy to answer any questions if there are any.
I got a question, where was it? A township official, who qualifies as a township official? And the reason I'm asking is right now, we approve Parks and Rec spend in our meeting minutes. Does that change what we can and can't do as far as, do we still need approval for $500 for free fishing weekend? Or as a township official, as long as there's money in the budget allocated, do we need to go through that?
Is there specifically a page or a section?
It's
when
paragraph one.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, paragraph 1, a township official.
What
The only
page?
reason I'm asking is because we have to show Nikki in accounting that we had approved that amount. I'm just asking if it's changed that process.
So, ultimately, I think that would be under this policy, I would say that we could spend the $5,000 without that action.
Okay.
But as a board that we've entrusted with money, they sort of have a little bit of discretion beyond. So if they said oh, we want to do that, we would follow that up,
Okay.
Just
Going forward, we just need to know how that's handled, so.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really all I had. Everything else looked pretty good.
Yeah, and that spending limit was just, as we've gone through with inflationary increases and just everyday random stuff,
Yeah, the 2,000 was
we
not.
were bumping against it more and more often.
Yep.
But this sort of changed, so, having the line item I like in there is that it's saying it's within a budgeted amount.
Yep.
We can't spend beyond.
I just needed that clarification. So I'll make a recommendation to adopt the updated purchasing policy as proposed.
All right, is there support?
Support.
We've got a motion by Mr. Badkins with support by Mr. Brado to adopt the purchasing policy as presented. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none and seeing no public comment, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Board, and thank you to Adam and his staff for updating that policy. Next on the agenda, page 101 in the packet, item E1 from the Treasurer's Office regarding a refund.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor.
Board, I just want to sort of preface this saying that I've never come in front of you asking for a refund of any of our interest or penalties on property taxes. But we did have a unique situation that took place, and I'm just going to give you a little background just so you can understand where it was coming from. So every year before taxes go delinquent, the Treasurer's Office implemented a courtesy process to notify residents of delinquent taxes to avoid penalties and fees. On 2/19/2025, after receiving her courtesy tax delinquent notice, Mrs. Lynn, and her full name is redacted to provide autonomy, called the Treasurer's Office to discuss her payment. She said she verified with her bank that her check in the amount of $11,951.70 was cashed and cleared on September 13th of 2024. She was asking why her taxes were showing unpaid, why her tax bill reflected a 3% penalty, why she was being assessed 6% interest from the other tax entities on the summer bill. In total, all penalties were $1,075.65. After working with Ms. Lynn on this issue and suspecting fraud, she pulled an image of her check from her bank and found that the check had been washed.
I'm going to pause, just to make sure, because as reading this, can you kind of expound on the term washed?
Yeah.
I don't know if everybody knows what that
and
means.
actually, and just so everybody knows, I do have all the paperwork here if anybody would like to see it. I just didn't want to publish it. When I spoke with her, I told her I was going to keep her anonymous. So what happened was the check was actually the fields. So other than the amount, so Harrison Township was removed from the check, and a different person was put in there. A signature from that person was put onto the check, and it was cashed
I see.
into an account.
So it was altered, so fraud
Yep.
occurred.
Yep.
Yep.
You ever seen Catch Me If You Can?
No.
Where- oh, that-
Yep. And I,
No, sorry.
yeah, and I can tell
Step
you,
Brothers, I've seen that. Did that happen to
It's all,
Step
it's
Brothers?
a different movie.
and I can tell you that this has been prevalent. There was a ring about 8 months ago here in Macomb County, and we still deal with this all the time. And without getting into a lot of that, I can go into that a different day. So Ms. Lynn filed a fraudulent claim with her bank and a claim with the Macomb County Sheriff. I received a copy of the claim filed by Ms. Lynn, including all the pertinent information. I got a copy of the washed check, a carbon of the original check, which she had also, it was a carbon, she had duplicate checks. The treasurer also, I also spoke with the fraud investigator from Macomb County Sheriff to ensure the case was valid and active. The claim and investigative documents have not been included for security purposes, but again, if somebody would like to see them, I could surely share that with you. According to MCL PA 84 of 2020, Section 44, Item 4, the governing body of a local property tax collection unit may waive all or a part of the property tax administration fee or the late penalty charge or both. The accrued interest of 1% a month for 6 months, September 15th through February 14th of 2025, in the amount of $710 has already been allocated and sent to Lance Cruz, MISD, Macomb County. So of that $1,075.65, $717.10 was already sent to the schools. We cannot give that back to her because we already settled up with the schools. Ms. Lynn must petition each one of those tax entities to get that $717 and how many cents?
10 cents.
10 cents back. So basically what I'm asking for is a refund in the amount of $358.55 of the property tax penalties that was paid to Harrison Township in accordance with MCL Public Act 84, Item 4, based on fraudulent theft of a tax payment. And again, I just want to be very clear, people contact, around tax time, they contact the treasurer's office all the time, and, they talk about, well, my check got caught in the mail, and I mailed it, or it bounced, and so people ask for return of these fees all the time. I always ask them to come to the board, but typically it doesn't go that way. But because this was clear fraud, I thought it was just the right thing to do is to
Sure.
refund this money.
Yep, and it isn't my practice to make a motion, but I might propose that if the board is so moved, that we might also not only approve this refund, but it would appear that this individual now has this desire to, I mean, obviously, there's another $717 out there. I don't know if we can direct the treasurer to author a letter explaining your research and the fact that we did this, so that those other tax
Right.
entities can,
So when I did speak to her, I told her once, if this is approved by the board tonight, we would have minutes, and I would provide her with any kind of documentation that she would need if she wants to petition the other entities.
yeah. I just feel like a letter saying, from you on our letterhead, saying you did this research
Sure.
and we've refunded that, might carry that weight.
I'd be happy to do, yep,
Yeah,
I'd be happy, and
just
I've
a
already offered that,
suggestion.
so you bet.
Okay,
You want to make that part of the motion? That's
well,
not, I'm
any
gonna do it.
discussion, or is there a motion?
I have a question.
Yep.
I'm glad that hopefully we can get this resolved for Mrs. Lynn. Were we able to gather the almost $12,000 that we did not receive in taxes through the investigation, or how does that work?
So she filed so she filed two claims. She filed a claim with her bank, and she filed a claim with her, with the sheriff. Her bank, did reimburse her the money, so she did pay the taxes.
Great, okay.
Yes.
So, yeah, the
Her
taxing
taxes are
entities
paid.
have been
Yes.
made whole. Okay.
Yes, her taxes. are
I didn't
paid.
know if there was another step we needed
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
Again, it just wasn't paid till the 14th or just shortly thereafter when she.
Yeah, so the bank corrected the error.
She
if you will,
reimbursed her,
yep.
correct.
Yep,
Right. So
okay.
she basically is just out
The penalty.
$1,100
Yeah.
and.
Right, because if they did if they paid the check and we received the
Right.
correct amount, that doesn't get rid of the
Yep.
penalty.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's
I make a motion to refund the amount of $358.55, property tax penalties in accordance with MCL, or it's not MCL, Public Act 84, Section, Item 4, based on the fraudulent theft, and direct the treasurer to send a letter on to the other taxing agencies with the information we've gathered.
But, well.
Or maybe
just
to
correct,
the
it would be
individual.
just- It would be to Mrs. Lynn.
Oh, to-
And then she could use
Provide-
that.
provide.
Yeah, that's what I think, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then she can use that to say, because he can explain,
That's
we
good.
did this research on this date,
Right,
this date, so
exactly.
forth, so
Yep.
it's evidential. Is there support?
Support.
All right. Had a fair amount of discussion. Is there further discussion? Hearing none and seeing no public, we've got a motion by Mr. Witt with support by Mr. Olgiati. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Board. Next on our agenda is an appointment. Board members, we have a vacancy on the DDA Board. It dates back to March 18 of 2023. Dwayne Palmer was a board member as well as a key employee at Luigi's Original Restaurant. Dwayne previously held that appointment. Evan Paul is a current manager at Luigi's, and he has expressed an interest in serving as a DDA board member. His application is in the board packet. I recommend the appointment of Mr. Evan Paul to the DDA board for a 4-year term to expire March 23, 2027.
Support. Unless Steve would like to support that.
No, that's okay. Good.
Motion by Mr. Brado, support by,
I support that.
all right, by Mrs. Brown. All right, discussion on the appointment?
I think Evan will be an excellent addition.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, people know that Mr. Palmer passed away.
Yeah.
That's why he's not serving
Yeah, unfortunately.
anymore, unfortunately.
All right, any other discussion? Hearing none and seeing no public comment, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Board. Next, item F2. Daniels and Zermatt are the architects working on the library and campus improvement project. They need certain survey services in order to complete the design and site plan work. They solicited 3 proposals for the work. Urban Land Consultants was the low bidder at $6,800. We solicited the bid from Urban Land Consultants based on the recommendation from our building official. Their proposal is attached. I recommend that we contract with Urban Land Consultants for survey work as presented at a cost of $6,800.
I'll make that motion.
All right. Is there support?
Support.
All right, we've got a motion by Mr. Badkins with support by Mr. Brado. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none and seeing no public comment, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Thank you, Board. Next is public comments. At this time, before we adjourn for the evening, we will open up the floor for public comments. They can be about any subject that you wish. We ask that you try to limit those to 5 minutes in length, and you can address the board from the podium.
My name is Carlos Robinson. I'll give my address.
Please.
34760 East Lake Drive, the township. And what we're looking for here is some help from you guys to get through to Tringali. Our buildings were designed and built 50 years ago. That included a small garbage room. Holds 2 cans, probably 6 by 4. And they are refusing to go in there and take these cans out. And our problem is, in front of the door, there's a slope for the grade to go down to the sewer. So there's no really flat spot for these cans to be pulled out at night. So they're gonna be tipping over and garbage is gonna be all over. And we're just wondering if you guys can help us out.
Okay? I'm familiar with the issue. In public comment, we're not going to engage in a back and forth discussion. It's,
Okay. Yeah, we're just looking for some help.
yeah, understood. I can report to you and the board. We did have a conversation with Mr. Tringali himself about it. He was uncomfortable having staff going into these rooms, right? So the initial response was, no, it wasn't something we can do. I'm happy to carry it on further. Perhaps after the meeting, if you're kind of heading this up, maybe you could give me your number so that I can get back to you and maybe arrange a meeting. Maybe it's a misunderstanding. I'm happy to help facilitate that.
And you could probably tell them too, if we can't get that, we're gonna have to get every person their own garbage can. So we're gonna have to pick up 24 extra garbage cans.
Yeah, well, like I say,
So make a difference for him.
I appreciate the public comment. The back and forth that might be necessary to resolve this isn't really well suited for this, but again, if I can get your contact information after the meeting, we'll, maybe we can arrange an on-site meeting, maybe it's an misunderstanding.
Will do. Thank you.
Yep.
C. William Bardell, 28-year resident, clean cut, do-gooder boy next door, clean up, fix up, people helping people. Just want to remind everyone, please check out Save Lake St. Clair on Facebook. Follow, keep abreast of what's going on, and a little bit of reading material there for you. So with that, everybody stay safe and have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there any other public comment? Hearing none, we'll close the floor for public comment. Is there any further board comment?
I just wanted to make a statement. Everybody knows, obviously, with the water main situation that we had last week, and I just wanted to give a shout out and a kudos to the staff at Harrison Township. I haven't really ever done this before, but I was in the building on Wednesday and I saw what the girls in the clerk's office and the supervisor office, the deputy supervisors, and the girls in the water department, what they had to put up with that on that particular day, and it was very, very, very difficult circumstances, let alone what the guys in the field had to do. Some of those guys worked almost 42 hours. So, I think the water department is so underrated in terms of how its importance is around here. Nobody ever knows what they do until they turn their faucet on and the water comes out. So I just wanted to give a shout out and let them know that we appreciated them as a group, and they went above and beyond the call of duty to make sure that that was handled as professionally and quickly as possible.
Yeah, agreed. Yes, it was a tough few days there, but definitely a lot of hard work on the part of many people. There are some municipal leaders that are looking to frame water and sewer, those utility workers, as first responders, because, certainly nobody wants a fire in their home, but also nobody wants water and sewer services to be disrupted, and they are on call 24/7. So I agree with that acknowledgement. Any other board comments? Hearing none, I'd be looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support.
All right, got a motion by Mr. Tominello, a support by Mr. Badkins. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Thank you, board.